Hey guys, it's Crazy Comic Lady, and today I'm working on Snow Deer by Safina Art. Very, very cute. I don't have the main logbook sticker to hand, but got this cute little one. So we're doing quite well. I haven't done the little Bambi yet. I'm kind of saving him for last. I'm just going to work on some of this lovely snow. I am a huge fan of colour blocking. It's like one of my most favourite things. So I hope everyone's having a good start to the year, or at least better than my start to the year. We've kind of had the week from hell. It's been a bit disastrous. In fact, most of Christmas was as well. It sort of felt a bit endless with problems and things going wrong. So I wasn't entirely sure if I would get a video uploaded this week or not, but I thought I'd just do a quick whip and chat and say I'm not entirely sure if I'll be doing weekly uploads in the upcoming weeks due to being completely out of mental energy to be able to record or plan anything. So Christmas for us was kind of a non-event because of that house that I bought in November and the sheer amount of work that's actually having to go into it. On the plus side, the driveway of my new house is finished. Yay! I did, and I felt pretty bad about it. I was getting so run down over Christmas that I think it all kind of spiraled, and I focused all of that kind of stress, upset, and exhaustion onto the drive of my new place. Because I wasn't happy with it when it was like halfway done, and I went, I'm really not sure I like this pattern. I want my zigzags. It's a type of brickwork. It's got a proper name, a herringbone, that's what it's called. But I was trying to make life easier and cheaper by going for brick bond. That was it. It was a cheaper and easier option to do a driveway in. But I was kind of looking at it and going, this looks so boring, and this driveway is huge, and I just wasn't happy with it because I was trying to be, you know, an adult and a grown-up and go, I know it's not really what I actually want, but it's, you know, maybe I'll learn to compromise. But I think with all the stress of everything, I went, no, I don't want to compromise. 12-year-old me isn't happy. She wants what she wants. So isn't it annoying when you put down drills and you find they've got like little dark specks on them? I don't want dark specks on my little white drills. Just pick some off there. So anyway, so the builder guy we've got, they're lovely art builders. They really care about the work and making stuff look as pretty as possible. So they were more than happy to take up the drive and start over, and ordered a few more bricks. So I've got to get some more money over to them soon to pay for it. But it's looking good. We have had a problem with it this week, where it's just been so cold that the sand had actually frozen underneath where they're trying to put the new drive. So it got a bit delayed because originally this should have been done a while ago, but the weather just hasn't been very good for doing that. But our porch is definitely getting higher. That now has a window in it. Yay! So that's good. It hasn't got the roof on yet, but Saturday, which is probably yesterday for you, depending on when this video goes up, hopefully on Saturday it might have the roof on it, because our builder guy said he'd be up there Saturday to try and finish it off, because of course the longer ours takes, the longer it delays his other jobs. So he's been up there on the weekends recently while we've been there as well working. So coming along, I have been recording like a mini kind of vlog thing regarding like the process of the house and all the building work that's been going on. So when there's a little bit more progress, I'll eventually edit that and put that up if anyone's interested in seeing the new house come to life. So Christmas, my partner had time off work, so pretty much all of that time went into sanding, decorating, painting of the new place, which has been pretty exhausting, while simultaneously over Christmas we were looking after his sister's dogs as well. His sister has a Chihuahua and a Cockapoo, And between me and my partner, we have a rough collie cross and a lurcher. So it's been it was a bit of a madhouse having them, and that the Chihuahua Peanut, we got quite used to picking up poop off the floor because it wouldn't want to poo outside. So, you know, you get up and there was no poo, and you'd let them all out to the garden and it was fine. And then you turn your back and lo and behold, it's pooped on the kitchen floor again. It became quite exhausting in cold temperatures to have to go out and kind of hold its paw and spend 20 minutes to get it to poop outside. But fortunately, because it was so tiny, you know, we picked it up with kitchen roll and flushed it down the toilet because its poops were so tiny. So it was okay. Poops and wheeze in the house, but at least they've now gone back to my partner's sisters, which is good. I think they were in America for a little bit over Christmas. I think that's where they were. Yeah, so that was not massively fun. My stepdaughter loved it though, because it's like dog army, yay. In the summer, it wasn't a problem last time we babysat them because, you know, we could let them, all the dogs out simultaneously into the garden and just sit there until they all did their business, and it was fine. Whereas this time we had to kind of micromanage them and send them out a few dogs at a time. So to make sure that little Peanut had enough time to kind of relax in the garden and do its business. So that was our dog sitting duties. I didn't really do Christmas presents this year for anyone, which I kind of feel bad about, but at the same time, I'm usually responsible for buying presents for my parents to give everyone. So technically, I kind of like feel like, well, I kind of did do Christmas presents. I just didn't pay for them because I did all the shopping for my parents and the decision making and deciding what they were getting each other, what they're giving other people, bank transfers, all of that fun stuff. So yeah, I did do my stepdaughter. My stepdaughter got presents. She's the important one. But everything else is just, I think we put up a Christmas tree like really last minute because we've also been trying to clear out my partner's house. So we've got quite a few boxes ready to go down to the donate centre, which hopefully this weekend will happen. The downside of when I do these long videos, I'm not sure how long this one will be yet, but my internet at my parents' place where I currently am staying, it's so slow. Anything that's around an hour long video wise takes 28 hours to upload to YouTube. So that's why I usually try and film stuff in advance, so there's not any kind of rush at the weekend to get a video uploaded, because I like to upload. Sundays has kind of become the regular upload day, Sunday evening in the UK. So we'll see what day this ends up going up on. But yeah, so it was kind of stressful over Christmas. My brother had invited my parents round for Boxing Day, and I was very worried about it because usually my partner and I go and we drive my parents there, but my brother was all willing to come and pick up my mum and dad, and my dad put his foot down and went, no, I can do it, I can drive, I don't need anyone to come pick me up. And I was like, oh, this my father was diagnosed with dementia a few years ago, so he does still have his license. It's on a yearly renewal. He's still safe to drive. The issue is he can't remember how to get to anywhere anymore. So I was so worried about this, with him refusing, to have a lift from my brother, that I put tracking on my mother's smartphone. My brother had given her that smartphone a little while ago. My dad doesn't have any kind of phones, mobile phone or anything, so I put tracking on my mother's phone just to be on the safe side, and they went off and everything, and I was waiting for my partner to come get me so that we could go up to the new house and get on with cracking on with getting painting, decorating done. And I thought, you know, let's just keep an eye on this tracking just in case. And then I got a text message from my sister-in-law saying, do you know what time your parents left? Because they haven't turned up yet. My brother and his wife live 20 minutes away. So I pull up the tracking and I go and I'm watching it and I'm sending live updates to my brother and everything. And after a while I'm looking at it going, okay, now they've gone around in a circle. I think they're lost. So, and that was actually the case. They then ended up ringing up my brother. And fortunately, because I had tracking on their phone, I could send him screenshots of exactly where the tracking said they were so that they could be rescued. So what should have been a 20-minute journey ended up taking an hour and 40 minutes in the cold. It didn't do Mum any good at all. And it was all a bit of a stress and a worry. And then also over Christmas, we had a Christmas scammer that decided to... I was busy trying to fix my parents' outside floodlight that had broken. We tried to get a new bulb and it just wasn't wanting to go in. But while I was out getting this bulb, that's when we had this Christmas scammer that rang up saying... I work with your doctor. He was talking to Dad on the phone. I work with your doctor. I'm fully aware of your case. Here's a new prescription for you to try. Please send us money to pay for this new prescription. Whereas in the UK, if you're over the age of, is it 65, I think? All of your it might be 60 even, all of your prescriptions in the UK are free once you're over a certain age. My father doesn't have to pay for any prescriptions because we're on the NHS, the National Healthcare. So, yeah, I got back and I was like, what? Because apparently my father had spent an entire hour on the phone with this guy who was pretending to be his doctor. Fortunately, my father had realised his own mistake after he'd hung up the phone and had contacted the bank straight away, and they cancelled his card. Unfortunately, no suspicious activity had gone through at that point, so that was incredibly lucky. But it's just, 'tis the season. It just felt like that's not the kind of Christmas gift you want at all. It's like some people just have no heart to ring up and pretend to be a doctor. It's just, it's not, it just shows how vulnerable people become and how people can just prey on it without any kind of sympathy or compassion. It's just kind of heartbreaking. It just, my father, he would never have fallen for that in his olden days. He was the first person to spot a scammer a mile away and tell them to do one on the phone, and never to spend a whole hour chatting with one. But it happened. So with that and my parents getting lost on Boxing Day, it was all a bit of a stress and a worry. And then the start of this year hasn't gone off well at all. So we've had trouble with our gas and electric for a little while. Which happened when my father incorrectly wrote down the meter readings. So they got logged in wrong, and I spent 3 months having to ring up every single month because every time I tried to submit a new meter reading for them, it was getting immediately rejected because it was saying, no, it's your reading is far too low. And I just hit the button that says submit anyway, and then you get emails through saying we have not accepting your meter readings because they don't match up to the system. So anyway, 3 months later, and we finally managed to get that fixed, which was good. I had to pull out the power of attorney forms that I had, and I had to email them across, and I didn't hear anything back. So I was dreading that in December, having to ring up yet again to say, look, this is what the meter readings are. You keep rejecting them, I keep ringing up, you keep saying you'll fix the issue on the system, and nothing ever gets done. Fortunately, in December, I actually managed to get through to someone who really knew what they were doing, someone who was quite high up, who understood it, and they fixed these issues immediately. They added me onto the system as a can speak on the behalf of, and logged all of my power of attorney details on there, which was good. And so we went, okay, so now that we've fixed the issue, can we get some smart meters installed so that we don't have this issue with incorrect meter readings ever happening again? And they said, absolutely, we will send someone out in January. We'll do that for you. Shouldn't be a problem. Will only take 2 hours. You'll be out of gas electric for 20 minutes. So Monday last week, was that the 8th, I think was Monday, we get the meter people turn up. So what should have been a 2-hour job turned into a 6-hour job, which couldn't be completed. In the process of trying to install these smart meters, they discovered a gas leak, quite mild, but because we couldn't smell any gas, but we suspect this gas leak has been going on all the entire of last year. So they had to cap our gas supply, which meant no heating, and we don't have an immersion heater, so all of our hot water runs off the boiler, the central heating and everything. So we had to they cut off all of our gas supply. It was the absolute coldest week we've had to date. I want to say the last year, but the year's only just started. But since it got to winter, it's been the coldest it's been all winter. So and it also snowed on that day as well. And because of the constant in out, my dog escaped, not once but twice on 2 different days. So, and both times she went all the way down the road, turned right, and was heading straight towards the main road. It was just fortunate on both occasions that the first time we spotted her. The second time, a guy in a white van said, "Are you looking for a dog?" and pointed me in the right direction. So that was an extra stress, losing the dog. So anyway, the meter, they couldn't even install the gas meter because of the pipe work. New smart meters, the way our old one was set up, it wasn't a problem, but the new one is a different shape, and the pipe work just wasn't going to stretch around to it. So after taking all the old meter off, they had to put all the old meter back on again, and then they had to like I said, cap off all of the gas supply. Fortunately, I rang my builder guy who was working on my house and said, look, we've lost all of our boiler. We've got a gas leak here. Is there any chance you can send someone out? And within 20 minutes, he had someone out, which was very convenient because the plumbers and gas engineers could then talk to the meter people to try and figure out and pinpoint where is this gas leak coming from. And in the end, it was the boiler, and sadly our boiler is so old, there are no spare parts for it, and they believed it was the what's it called, gas valve, or gas, something, can't remember, too exhausted to remember. But they really tried to hunt down a spare part, and it was like, no, no chance. This boiler's over 30 years old. It's not energy efficient. It's got a pilot light in it, which was quite funny because the meter guy, he said as soon as he turned up to our place, firstly, he'd never in his life seen the way our system was hooked up. He had to ring his mentor guy that he trained under to say, what do I do with all these black and red wires that are feeding in strange ways? But it's all right. They knew what they were doing. The electric meter got plugged in, no problem. So anyway, we got the plumbers out. They couldn't find us the part for the boiler, so it was like, well, this is going to have to be a brand new boiler. And I said, well, let's go for the like for like. Let's not try and upgrade to a combi boiler. Let's just go like for like. So they had to order the parts, so we had a couple nights with no water, no hot water, and no central heating, and it was freezing. In fact, the day the whole meter things were going on, it was actually snowing. There was this bit of a snowstorm going on as well. So this kit felt very seasonally appropriate since I was working on it around the same time with the snow. But they've ordered us a new boiler, and then they came back on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So it ended up being an absolute nightmare to install the new boiler, because at this house we refer to it as a collie bodge, and that is because the guy who owned it, Colin, he was a builder, but he really cut corners with everything he did in this house. It's a joke. And it turned out they'd not a correct wire from the upstairs where the water tank is and all that going down to where the boiler should be. There should be 4 wires, one of which should be an earth wire. We didn't have that wire. So they were like, well, do you want us to, we'll have to put a new wire in, but we're going to have to pull up all the carpets and the floorboards, and then possibly drill it outside of the house, drill a hole and feed it out, and then feed it back into the boiler. Because if they tried to put this wire in through the ceiling, they were going to have to destroy. They said the amount of damage will be colossal from having to just try and put this blimmin' wire in. So in the end, even then they discovered that wasn't even an option. They couldn't put a wire in at all, because we don't even have normal floorboards in this place. We have massive sheets of plywood which go all the way under the door frames. So there was no way they could even, get a wire through this without having to literally destroy everything. The house needs to be gutted to get this all wired up properly. Plus, we already know that the electrics in this house are, let's just say, not great. My room especially, which is in part of the extended part of the house, which is directly above the boiler. The lights flicker all the time. If you've got the TV on and the lights on, they'll interfere with each other and flicker. It's been like that forever. I kind of grew up with it, so I just assumed it was sort of normal. I didn't kind of really realise the grand scope of how, when you've lived in the same place your whole life with no maintenance ever being done on a property, you just kind of assume that's normal. And now I'm really learning that this half of what we go through is not normal in this house. So they couldn't get all the work completed on Wednesday. They had to come back again on Thursday. In the end, what they did was they jiggle rigged it, pretend I said a sensible word. Jury rigged it, that's the word I was trying to go for. Like a permanent on-off switch, earth switch. They kind of wired it into a plug socket as a temporary, you just don't ever turn that off. And then we had to have all this pipe work put out the side of the house, because these things will work off steam or something. And then, I don't know, modern boilers don't work the way old 30-plus-year-old boilers used to do. So now the kind of question is, we're now all back up and running. I suffer with really severe health issues, which one of the reasons I managed to get so much diamond painting done. But it also is massively affected by the temperatures. So winter for me, it's very difficult to function normally, because, my joints and everything, they just don't work in winter. So having no hot water as well was not great, especially after coming off a weekend of destroying myself working on my new property with painting and decorating, and really badly injuring my shoulder while I was sanding. I actually felt the joint pop all the way out, my shoulder joint. I'd never had it come all the way out like that before. It was unbelievably painful. It slotted itself back in, so it didn't fully dislocate itself, but man, the noise and the feeling of that going pop was just, it was unpleasant. So I was desperately looking forward to having a nice warm relaxing bath with my Epsom salts on Monday, and then that didn't happen because we had the boiler got condemned as not safe to use. So anyway, we're all back up and running now, but it has just been so exhausting because the noise and the disruption of 3 days of banging and freezing and no heat and no hot water, and you have to have a kettle up on the landing so you can boil your water to wash your face with in the mornings. It's just, it hasn't been a fun week, that's for sure, and I feel like it's really taken its toll, especially on my mental health. I just feel so ground down and just sad, depressed, deflated. I'm not trying to like make it sound like I'm attention seeking or anything, but more just to kind of share that if you guys are going through hard times as well, that I understand, I'm with you. I'm not saying my issues are any worse than what anyone else is going through. More that I understand and I sympathise if you've had a rough start to this year. I'm right there with you. But it's definitely been a bit of a strain, that's for sure. Christmas is always a bit of a strain, but add on the extras as well, and it's just been a bit, yeah. So get on the stupid, there we go. The drill wasn't wanting to stick to the canvas. I've been using my new putty, which I quite like. This putty, it's, whoops, sorry to bump you. There we go. Diamond Painting Putty by Cat. It's that I got this with my unboxing from Diamond Art Studio UK. I found my putty. I'm actually really liking this putty. It's much better than the previous putty that I'd bought from a different shop. This one is way better because this one doesn't seem to get completely stuck to the drills. The other putty that I was using from a different shop, you'd place down some square drills and then you'd have all this coloured putty just stuck down the edges of the drills, whereas this one doesn't do that. So this putty is way better. Get some of this putty. I do want to try the putty that they have from Abby. I think it's Abby's putty that they have as well, just to see if there's much of a difference, because I sort of assumed that all putty was created equal. So after my experience with that previous putty, I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to ever try putty again, but this putty's been really good. So now I'm more open-minded to trying out new putties. So anyway, that's been the this week, along with a bit of family drama as well. But it's just, I feel like it's becoming increasingly difficult to maintain this house for my parents, on top of trying to do all of my stuff as well. Oh, I have a visitor. So I think my mum has asked my brother to try and look at getting them into assisted living, which the process I think of getting them there is going to be exhausting, but at the same time, this whole house, it needs gutting and redoing. It hasn't been touched since we moved in. We didn't do anything to it apart from a few new carpets when we moved in back in 1996. You know, I was a child at the time. The problem as well we had with this gas leak that we had from the boiler, it really explains some of the symptoms that we've all been having in this house. A lot of it I'd put down to my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, because that can have a lot of, nasty symptoms to it anyway. But I mean, for the last 8 months, I've been throwing up almost every morning and just feeling absolutely sick to my stomach every time I wake up. I've been weak, dizzy, fatigued, confused, muddle-headed, and just generally down. But the nausea that I've had for the last 8 months was just getting absolutely ridiculous, and I just put it down to a combination of EDS, stress, and smoking too much. But now I'm wondering just how long has this gas leak been going on, because then you Google symptoms of gas leak every single one of those symptoms I've been struggling with, and Mum's had most of them as well, the same symptoms. She hadn't had the sick throwing up symptoms that I had, but she's had the headaches and the dizziness and the vision issues, same as me. But yeah, we all put it down to old age, and nothing showed up on blood tests and whatever. So how are we to know? Like, I didn't even know you were supposed to do like gas safety boiler tests or something every single year, because it's never been done in this house ever. I think the boiler has blown about 6 times since I've been here that I can remember. The first time, I believe, was in 2007 or 8. I think was the first time the boiler went, and it was never inspected or anything. We just found parts, got plumber, got it fixed. The last time, however, it broke, the 5th time it broke, we had trouble. I remember at that time we had trouble finding anyone who would come and repair it because it was old and obsolete and no one really wanted to touch it. So I remember the last time it broke, my dad actually did it himself using a YouTube video, and that was the same. That was the gas valve as well, I think, back then. So I'm now wondering, really, how long has this gas leak been going on? Because we've been, all of us, not well for a long time. On the plus side, today, I didn't throw up for the first time in 8 months. Yay! I didn't even feel that sick this morning, so I'm wondering, I'm pretty certain it was all the sickness and throwing up I've been doing, I think was this gas leak. The fact that I spend a lot of my time up here in my little fortress of solitude right above the boiler, I wonder if I've had more exposure to it than possibly my parents. But my mum, her symptoms have got so bad that we had gone to the doctor about it, because she was worried that she was perhaps struggling with dementia as well, like my dad, from how confused she was getting. So they'd started doing these blood tests, and we're going to do some memory tests for her. But she said as well, since we've had this, the boiler got switched off and we've got the new one in, her symptoms are clearing up as well. She doesn't feel anywhere near as muzzy-headed, as she puts it. So that's a plus. I'm hoping symptoms will just continue to dissipate. But scary stuff. I mean, the fact that none of us could smell it. So I'm guessing it was some kind of natural gas. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I was correct. I sneezed. So anyway, that's kind of the updates on what's been going on. I just wanted to kind of very quickly just fill everyone in on that. And also to just make people aware that I might, if I disappear and you don't see any videos being uploaded for a while, it's because I'm attempting to recharge and let the other things take priority, like house decorating. So I think tomorrow we were planning to go down, tomorrow being Saturday, which to you might be yesterday. We were planning to go down and get some of these donate boxes dropped off in town and then go back up the house. We've got a lot of we had a lot of storm damage as well around Christmas as well at the new house. So we had 2 fence panels got blown down at the new place. Fortunately, we actually had some spare fence panels at the back behind the rotten shed, which has now been ripped out. So the builders just slotted those in for us, which was good, because technically that fence, it's not even our responsibility. But, yeah, going back from... Come on, get off the... There we go. I'm stuck on the pen again. Technically that fence is actually... It backs onto a footpath, which is owned by a company building. And technically that fence is their responsibility, but in all the solicitor report and everything... it's quite a struggle to actually get them to take responsibility for it. So I'm not worrying, considering that we had 2 free fence panels that came with the house when I bought it. So I'm not going to kind of make them you know, the people that own the land pay for that part of fence. But in the future, though, once we've run out of fence panels, that will be something to do. I'm still blooming struggling with the solar panel tariff. That has been a nightmare. If you're buying a house, avoid ones that have got solar panels attached to them, because trying to get the tariff transferred into your name has been just proved to be an absolute nightmare. So I bought the house, it was like the second week, the 13th of October, that was when the exchange of contracts happened and I got the keys. So I've been battling since then to get the solar panel tariff transferred into my name. So we're looking at November, December, 3 months. 3 months of trying to battling for the blimmin' solar panels. I think I'm on the final stretch with that now. I think I just have to correct, because they've got me written down as, for some reason, as Mrs. instead of Miss, and I was like, okay, do I need to tell them to correct that? Will that affect, like, the checks when they send the checks for the solar panel tariff feed out? Will it matter if it says Mrs. instead of Miss? I don't know. I will probably mention it to them when I, when I sign the last bit of the forms. I have to read through them and sign my name, scan it in, email it back. Hopefully that'll be the end of it. Just in time for us to, you know, rip them all off the house when we do the loft conversion next summer. Or this summer, I should say. So that's been the start of the year. So, yeah, Christmas scammers, gas leaks, new boilers, lost parents. And I'm on a major budget now for my diamond painting addiction, which is really annoying because when I get stressed, I'm like, but I want to buy diamond paintings because they make me happy. But I know I can't. So I did actually give in. I haven't told my partner yet, but I did give in and I bought 2 Craft Buddy diamond painting stickers, Disney stickers, from eBay. I just got 2. I didn't want to get like the whole pack or anything because I don't want to like collect all of them. Because me with sticker albums, even normal sticker albums, I would just go into shops and I'd be like, I want every single pack of stickers in this box, please. That's how I used to do it with sticker albums, because I was like, I cannot have an uncompleted sticker album. It drives me insane. So I was like, there's no way I want to get the diamond painting sticker album because I know I'm going to just drive myself crazy wanting it finished. And I don't want to spend a fortune, especially since, like, I'm not really into the Marvel characters. They're not really my cup of tea. I like the Star Wars characters, but the older ones, like a lot of the stickers had the newer characters from the 7, 8, 9 movies, which I prefer to pretend those movies don't exist because I'm not a fan. So, like, I only really wanted, like, the pure Disney versions of that sticker book anyway, so I thought I'll just buy the 2 that I quite like for a £5. It was one of the 101 Dalmatian ones with Perdita and one of the puppies on her head, and Lady and the Tramp, because Lady and the Tramp are like one of my favourite Disney movies. I always loved Lady and the Tramp. I remember as a kid, I always wanted like a dog like Lady, and then when I got older, I was like, Tramp is a way better dog. I would pick Tramp now that I'm older, the mongrel, the mutt. So, yeah. Oh, interestingly, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before or not, but we met the relative of our dog that passed away almost 2 years ago. It was so strange. We were up working at the new house, and just as we were packing up to leave, this dog with this man with a beautiful dog, Rottweiler, kind of walks past the house, and I take a look at this dog and I went, that looks like Bono in the face. I have to go over and say hello to it. So off I went and I started chatting to this guy, and it turned out that this dog had actually come from the same breeder as our old dog Bono. And it was incredible. This dog, it had the same temperament, the same love, the same energy. It was just beautiful. Just having to redo my tray. But oh, it was so lovely. I was like, can we get a Bono relative for our next dog, please? Since we know that they've still got, the breeders are still out there and they're still breeding. So, because this dog, I think they say he was only just turned 2 or something. So we lost our dog in April of 2000 and, what year are we now? 2022, I think. Yeah, 2020. No. Yes. I can't remember dates of things anymore. It's a sign I'm getting old. But I was like, oh, it's so cute. Yeah, it's Rembekmar. That was the breeder name. So it's nice that they're still going, because they were kennel club registered. Because our doggo, he only lasted, he just turned 6 when he died. But originally the breeders weren't going to sell him at all because they knew he was a runt and they suspected there might be some issues there. But at the time, my partner had 2 female dogs, and they really didn't want to get a third female dog. They wanted to like get a boy in the mix. I've got some plastic resin gunk stuck in there we go. Yeah, which is why they went with good old Bono, my partner and his ex at the time. Yeah, good dog, absolutely fantastic dog. It's always the good ones that go so soon. But I'm kind of looking forward to, I have a diamond painting of a Rottweiler that I got from the one with the diamond art, and I'm really looking forward to doing that in April because it's going to be 2 years this year. And it's also 2, our puppy's going to be 2 this year as well. I can't believe it. I think it's the 12th of March is our puppy's birthday. And it's like, but he's still a puppy. He hasn't grown up. He's still an idiot. He's still very hard to handle. But yeah, I just can't believe, I think we made a mistake, really. We jumped in way too quickly after we lost Bono, getting a new one. I think some of it was because of my stepdaughter, because she kept asking, are we going to get another one? And it was sort of like, yeah, we should have, I think we, in hindsight, should have definitely held off a little bit longer. But at the same time, you know, our Obi, the lurcher, he's kind of lucky that we did take him, given the state he was in when we got him. He was so malnourished and ill. Like, we went there expecting to find healthy puppies. We didn't expect to find a puppy so lethargic, covered in scrapes and scars and, you know, dried up blood and every single spine joint, visible tailbone joint, all of it. It was heartbreaking to see puppies left in that state, which is why we ended up taking him. But oh boy, has he been a difficult challenge. Yeah, that should have been I think he really needed someone a bit more equipped to be able to nurse him back to. But we managed. We did manage. We got him healthy at the very least. He's not well trained, but at least he's healthy. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much all my updates I have. Hopefully my new stickers should turn up soon. But yeah, I can't remember if I said, I only spent a £5 on them. So I feel like I can justify a £5, right? considering what I used to spend when I got stressed. That's plus for me. That's progress. I'm learning. I'm becoming more responsible, possibly. We'll see how that goes. I do have some points that are going to expire quite soon with Diamond Art Studio UK. So they expire at the 28th of February. So I know in February I'm definitely going to be buying from them again, just to use up my £9 of points. So that'll be good. I'm thinking of getting their Cyril the Splatter Squirrel. That is what I'm possibly thinking, because I haven't got any like full-on squirrel kits in my stash, unless there's a new release that I like better, because I know they've like teased us with new releases that are supposed to be coming on around the 18th of January. So we shall see how they go, because yeah. They're really nice. I really love those people there. They make me laugh as well when they reply to comments and things. They just seem so interactive with everyone. I think I need a slurp of drink. I feel like my throat's getting a bit sore. But yeah, they have definitely become my favourite company. Just because I just really appreciate like their standing and their viewpoint and their take on human-only art as well. That for me is a big plus. I just feel like our sort of what I'm looking for in a company sort of matches what they're aiming to put out to the world. So hugely respectful of them as a company. I think they're really good. So yeah, Diamond Art Studio UK, awesome company. So I kind of wish I wasn't on such a stash detox, spending detox, because there's a lot of their kits I'd really love to add to my stash, but it will have to wait. So I'm hoping that I might be able to get through 40 kits this year. I'm going to aim for 40, and I'm trying to maybe limit myself to 12 new ones in the year. That might be asking too much. We'll see, but that's what I'm aiming for. So I'm trying to be really selective. I do have quite a lot of points saved up with Diamond Art Club, and I know exactly which 2 paintings I want to get, but they're both currently out of stock. At least the square versions of the kits are out of stock, and they're the ones I feel will do the pictures the most, like, more justice, I think. So I'm waiting for Remember by JoJo's Art to come back in stock on Diamond Art Club, and the Puffy Gator kit, Yorkie Glow, I think it's called, because yeah, I love Puffy Gator. I must have them all. I'd love to get to the point when finances are a bit more stable I really want to try Distracted by Diamonds, but the shipping, the most expensive shipping out of any company. The shipping is more than the kit itself. Like, you can get a kit, especially if it's on discount. Sometimes these kits, you can get them for like £40. The shipping is more like £50 to £60. And even though it says that in the fine print, they say they combine shipping, but when you add everything to your cart, the shipping just doubles with every kit you add on. So before you know it, you're paying like £120 in shipping, which is why I've never gone ahead and actually bought from them. But at some point, I would really like to get some of their Puffy Gator kits. I love their kitty series ones they do, especially their the Christmas kitty and the Halloween kitty and the Quazonza kitty. I can't pronounce it. Yeah, it's like a little ginger one. I really like that one. That one's one of my favourite ones that they've got. But yeah, that's a company I really want to try, and I really want to get some, I think it's Treasure Studio Art, where they've got some full crystal kits from Bridget Voth, I think her name is. I was kind of wanting to try one of those. Also, Carrot Art, they have these really cute little cats that are in little cups. Those I really like. So those are kind of the main companies I'd love to be able to focus on trying out once my budget issues become less of an issue. But hopefully, as soon as my partner's house sells, we'll be all right once we've got all that up. Oh, I also had an issue as well, because remember we had the heating guys on Monday. Not the heating guys, the meter guys on Monday, who then condemned the boiler and everything. And then Tuesday, I went down to help my mother get out more money. And in the process, I then went up to O2, because for some reason, like, my direct debit had been completely cancelled. And I was like, why? And it said that I owed O2 money. So I paid that via PayPal in the morning. And then I went into the branch and said, why is my direct debit cancelled? Why? It's been fine for months. And and they couldn't understand it either. It was saying on the system that they cancelled it because the payment date was in advance of the bill or something, and they could see on the system that that wasn't the case, and they were very confused, but they set it all up again for me as well. And interestingly, they checked my postcode for my new address, which is already set up for fibre internet. Yay! And they also said that because I'm an O2 customer, for £27 a month, I could get 350 megabits of data a second, which is an awful lot better than what I've got at my parents' house, which is 6 for the same price. We paid £22 here for our 6 megabits of internet, which is why my videos take 28 hours to upload on a good day. Well, that's kind of actually on a bad day. On a good day, it takes around 24. On a bad day, it takes 28 to 29. Because then you've got all that processing time as well, where it's checking it and upping it to HD quality and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having my little snow deer finished. He should be completed soon. I think it's probably a good time to almost wrap up the video, since we're almost hit an hour. 10 minutes away from an hour, but I'm sure you guys will want to get off and listen to happier WIP and chats, less doom and gloom and yeah, all that fun stuff. So if you don't hear from me or see any new videos for several weeks, it's all right. I'm still going. I'm just putting my mental energy into more house stuff and painting, decorating and all that stuff. So yeah, so don't be worried if I vanish. I always feel like I need to kind of explain when I take a YouTube break, since during the COVID time I disappeared for 3 years without saying a word, and I felt so bad about that when I did it. I was like, are people gonna wonder what happened to me? I just suddenly vanished with no reason or explanation. So now I always try and say, won't be around for a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, it was interesting on my stash countdown video. At the moment, it's kind of really neck and neck tied between 2 kits, which I asked people to choose the next diamond painting I work on, which hopefully will be soon. I'll be able to get the next one kitted up shortly, because this one shouldn't take too long because of the fabulous colour blocking going on in it. So yeah, at the moment it's sort of a tie between the Puffy Gator kit Daylight, which is nice and bright and happy, or Fire and Ice by JoJo's Art. They're my 2 favourite artists at Diamond Art Club. I am leaning towards doing the Fire and Ice one, so I'm thinking I'm going to throw my vote in as well. Am I allowed to vote on my own video? I think I'm going to be leaning towards that one, just because I feel it really perfectly depicts the battle we've had between, you know, having a failed boiler and the freezing temperatures that we've had this week in the UK. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a adequate us trying to battle against the cold, and our new boiler fighting the battle for us to keep us warm. So on the plus side, all of those plumbers and everything, they were really lovely. They rang me up again today, which is Friday the 12th at the moment. They rang me up this morning to say, so any problems with the radiators? And I said, most of them are okay, apart from the one in the kitchen that's stone cold. So they popped back in half an hour, which was really nice of them. And they re-bled the system again, because we don't have any bleed keys. I didn't even know how, you know, what a bleed key was. I knew that they existed. I didn't know what they looked like or how you bled them. But yes, just letting air out of the system. For some reason, when people say bleeding a radiator, I just naturally assumed that meant like taking a tap off and like oozing out all the gunk. That's what I thought bleeding a radiator meant. So I've been corrected. Bleeding a radiator means when you let all of the air out of the system. I'm learning. I'm slowly learning these things. Just like you should really have maintenance done on your boiler every single year, which yeah, but I have rung up and I've got the guarantee sorted on our new boiler, so that's good. I've got a 7-year guarantee on that. they were going on about, oh, you can do this maintenance boiler cover for £89 a year or something. I was like, yeah, but not sure my parents are going to be living here much longer, and I don't want to have to deal with it. So I know it sounds awful, but I've hit the point now where I am just feeling so ground down and exhausted, trying to maintain not only a house that needs so much work done to it, but also dealing with my own house, and then trying to look after, I call them adult children. My parents is how I refer to them now, because it feels like I have to hold their hand to do anything. Oh, and we're still having trouble with my mother's prescriptions, which is annoying, because not only did I ring them up multiple times, we even had a face-to-face appointment where I went with my mother to the appointment, to the GP, to say, look, we're having trouble getting these pills. Why aren't you reauthorizing them? They're the exact same pills that I take. It's not like they're controlled substance or anything. They're for pain, amitriptyline. Mum and I take them for slightly different things, but yeah, and they said, no, okay, we've sorted it. We've put it on a repeat prescription. You shouldn't have any problems now ordering it. And I rang up the pharmacy this morning, and they said, yeah, no, we haven't had any authorization come through from the GPs regarding that particular prescription. We've got the other ones you ordered, but not that one. So that'll be another go straight back into battle again and say, oi, you said you'd fix this. Fix it properly. Because the problem with my mother as well is, unfortunately, her hearing is now so bad that she almost kind of requires an interpreter just to be able to tell her what's been said, because she misses most of it. Yeah, but don't worry, we're going to keep on top of it. It'll be good when my parents, if we can get them into assisted living, just so that it can take the maintenance worry out of it at the very least, because, you know, after all that flooding we had last year, and then the power cable to the house that got severed, and then the flood that came back, and the generator that we had on the front of the house, it just feels like this house has been non-stop problems this entire year. So sorry, I now I feel like I'm complaining again, but it is what it is. I hope you guys have had a better start to the year than me, but if you have had a pretty rough 2024 so far, then I send my huge hugs and huge sympathy and support straight to you, because yeah, it's life can be a struggle sometimes, and that is why we diamond paint. So we can try and forget that life exists. At least that's why I do it anyway, because it's so much easier just to lose yourself in the creation of pretty sparkly pictures. At least that's me anyway. So thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if this was a bit of a downer, this whip and chat. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys sticking it out. And if you made it to the end, something Bambi related, so deer related. Is there a deer emoji? Put a deer emoji in the comments if you made it to the end of the video. Yes, I steal this idea from Katie and her whip and chats, because I love that. I love that she says, oh, if you made it to the end, put in a emoji. I think that's cute. I don't expect many of you to have stuck it out for the whole hour, but thank you so much for watching. And I will see you when I see you. I'm going to say I'll definitely see you for my monthly review at the beginning of February, end of January. Not sure about any other uploads for the rest of this month, but stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.